Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 404 for the week of June 4th. 404 for the week of June 4th. If only it was April 4th. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
And Charlie.
It is also the week leading up to E3. So I'm looking forward to talking all about video games all weekend and all next week. Sorry, comic book people that follow me on Twitter. You're going to be hearing about a lot of Nintendo news. And Avengers news. You see this Avengers game coming?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a question about that later.
I'm also waiting for more on the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting for years.
I don't care. Because they put out that video not too long ago with... Yeah. Okay, sorry, from the video game talk here for a second.
This isn't the Geek Box.
It is.
It doesn't matter.
They claim Death Stranding is coming out this year. I find that
November, right?
Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
That's a weird-looking game.
The Final Fantasy VII remake, there's like 2025 or something like that. It is.
The fact that they're doing it like episodic is a little weird.
I don't even think that's going to hold. Like, there's just no way. You'll get one episode and then you'll never get the next one. I think
that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting they're going to finally get an episode and it's going to be like, and 3 years later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would not hold your breath for that.
Yeah. I saw they're doing the Ghostbusters reissue.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're going to do it. They had HD reissue Ghostbusters. So I'm just looking forward to all my Nintendo news. But next week, we'll probably have something to say about the Avengers game because I know they're going to announce that Square Enix, right?
Yeah.
Is developing that. So based on the MCU Avengers sort of.
When does Ultimate Alliance 3 come out? I know
it's
that's
soon. It's June.
Yeah.
I think it's this month.
Yeah.
That's Switch exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm fucking excited for that.
Yeah,
You don't have a Switch, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay.
You're talking to a guy who has 3 kids.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Why wouldn't he have a Switch?
Kids don't play video games.
I'm sitting there going, when am I going to have to get a Switch?
They just play their tablets. Yeah, I'm very excited for Ultimate Alliance. I love those old ones. So
yeah, so do I.
Comic book related, see?
Whatever.
And like that Spider-Man game is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to the Avengers
That's what
one.
I'm getting for Christmas this year.
Hopefully they
Game
can
of the Year edition.
have that won't be till next. It won't be out until end of the year. Oh no, sorry. Oh, Spider-Man Game of the Year edition. I don't even know if that's coming out. Did they date that yet?
Who knows? Normally, it's about,
Avengers is.
Normally, it's like a year after.
There's no way Avengers is. Maybe 2020, maybe holiday 2020.
What about that Star Wars game?
Which one?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of Star Wars shit. I'm sure.
I could see them trying to use Avengers as one of the launch games for a PS5.
Yeah. So
PS5 is coming out.
Sort of eventually one day.
Yeah, they've confirmed enough to know that they're actively working on it now, and
this is where you're going to have to upgrade your TV when you buy it, right? Because it's only going to be 4K.
Oh, well, no.
No. But, I mean, everything that I've read about it that they've confirmed and they've shown off is just about the sheer speed of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's going to be $2,000.
What?
The PS5, it's just impossible that it comes out at what they've been promising and not be high $600 to $800 for the base model. At
least it's cheaper than that Apple stand.
Well, yeah, maybe. cocky PlayStation or cocky Sony, it's back, baby.
I guess my mentality is there's been plenty of money that people sink into video cards and gaming.
Of course. Anyway,
the fact that they've confirmed that you won't need to buy a new VR headset for it, at least not to start with, the old one will be compatible. Is nice.
A lot more E3 talk on Geekbox for the next couple weeks, and we'll at least talk about the Avengers game here. I'm sure next week.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll drag us back into this subject next week.
Damn you, Charlie.
So we got some TV and movie stuff to talk about real quickly around comic books, and then some comic book stuff, and then we're gonna just questions. We actually got big spoilers to talk about at the end of the episode. But let's start with Tom King. We haven't talked about him for a while.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him for a while.
So let's over the weekend, over the last week, Tom King officially announced, along with Ava DuVernay. DuVernay. I always pronounce her last name.
It's just Ava. It's at Ava. Like, that's all I know.
Yeah. So she's a director and producer and writer, and she's worked on a bunch of big movies like Selma And we knew she was going to be working on the upcoming New Gods movie for Warner Brothers, which is pretty crazy. And now it apparently she's doing more than that. She's going to be working with Tom King on
the New Gods
on the actual New Gods movie. So that is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All I have to say about this New Gods movie that comes out is Mr. Miracle's T-shirt game better be spot the fuck on. Like, that is all I care about, is his T-shirt game needs to be spot on.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to it. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's done too much film and Hollywood stuff. Might be it, really.
I know he's been going to Hollywood for like secret meetings.
It's for this.
It's probably for this.
Yeah.
Last week he was in Kuwait.
Yeah, they had
the USO thing.
Yeah.
Which, it's weird that they can't talk about that till after it happens. But yeah, it was Tom King, Jim Lee, Danielle Panabaker from Flash, blanking on Iris's name, the actress, and one of the ladies from Black Lightning. They were on doing a tour around there, which is super cool. Yeah, a lot of Tom King news recently. So this New Gods movie seems like it's happening, and this is what I expected. I did not expect a, $500 million endgame level War of the New Gods movie. You could do a Mr. Miracle-esque, Tom King-esque New Gods movie with the crazy shit in the background, but a much more personal story in among the wars going on. Because really, adapting the New Gods straight as like a war between Darkseid and Apocalypse, it would just be like a fantasy mess, and I don't know that that's I don't know that I ever really want to see that. It never ends either. Like, you're not going to end the war, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you have to have. It's New Genesis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them focusing on Bug or somebody like that who's kind of adjacent to the war.
Yeah.
Or setting up the Allfather, like the Allfather, and I mean they could go back and do the Allfather, Darkseid, the war, and then we end with the exchange. But I think that's not where you need to start it.
No.
You should start it where they're Orion and Scott Free are basically.
Yeah, they'll be the main characters. They're not going to do like the origin of the New Gods. I mean, they'll tell it within the story, I'm sure. But I have to assume this will be very close to the Mr. Miracle comic, Barda and Scott on Earth, and then their involvement in the war. I just can't imagine this is going to be some gigantic. DC doesn't seem like they want to do that, or Warner Brothers doesn't seem like they want to do that.
For me, I'm already just picturing that first 10-minute explanation of the universe with the New Gods and Apocalypse, and then you focus on a and DuVernay. She's not a director that's going to do some again. Well, I'm not going to say she shouldn't, but
she just really, really powerful stuff right now. Everyone's talking about her the Central Park 5 movie that she did. Was it called We Something?
Yeah, I closed the page. But I saw.
That's what she has it on net. It's on Netflix right now, and that's what everybody's talking about with the buzz around. So
she's more involved, character focused than gigantic end of the world battle focus. Again, the Russo brothers came from Community and random TV show stuff, so not like they can't do it. But I don't think that that's the way you take a New Gods movie in 2019.
Well, no, not if you're
time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
To me, the bottom line is if they want to make their money back, they can't go full New Gods Apocalypse.
Yeah, gigantic war. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, just budget-wise, that would be...
You can build to that. You can have that 20 movies out, right? That's your end game, right? No pun intended.
Yeah.
That's your Infinity War and Endgame is a gigantic battle with Justice League versus the New Gods, right? But that's not what DC's doing at this point. So I don't see this being that plot at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tom King is the person you bring in to not do that.
Yeah. Legit question. Who would you cast as Big Barda?
Human with a skin. I have no clue. Don't ever ask me these questions.
I ask you these questions because I love your answer.
No idea.
Every time.
I don't know. The first person that came to my mind is that lady who was in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Who?
The angel. The one with the matchstick and got oral fixation. She rips her thing open and Colossus is like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice of you.
Yeah, I have no clue.
That there was a Deadpool movie?
No, I have no clue who you would cast. Yeah, that's it. Tom King's writing a New Gods movie. I'm very excited for that.
Woo-hoo.
Sci-Fi announced literally minutes before we started recording.
Yes, because we've started to check news.
I always check on
right
news.
Before or as we record.
Yeah. Deadly Class and Happy, both shows on Sci-Fi, are being canceled. We have 2 seasons of Happy, 1 season of Deadly Class.
Yeah, I started watching Deadly Class. I made it like 10 minutes in and then got distracted by something else and never made it back.
Something shiny distracted Charlie.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. I like them. They're still on my TiVo.
Mm-hmm.
I want to finish watching them. A little less motivated now, but yeah. I have that, and I have that, Rebels, and Gifted on my TiVo, and I'm like, well, I guess no rush now.
Yeah.
They're not getting bigger. For the
well, it's a shame that
I've seen most of Rebels.
Deadly Class, from what I heard, was well received.
Yeah, I like the first 2 episodes. So I don't know if they're going to shop it around or maybe take it to Netflix or bring it to a streaming service. But
my thing at this point is, unless I'm fully prepared to keep up with something as it comes out, like with Happy, I made it through most of the first season and then I fell off like the last 5. So when it hit Netflix, I just binge watched the last 5.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I assumed I was going to do with the entire season 2, is just when I had some time without Nadia and the kids, I just binge watch it again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and with Happy, I love Grant Morrison, but I had like no interest in the comic. It just didn't seem interesting to me, and the show looks like whatever.
I loved the comic. I mean,
I enjoyed the comic.
I really liked the comic, but you could tell that story in a handful of episodes. Stretching it to a season story was hard enough, and then going to a second season with brand new
just
more
more
and stuff.
Yeah, just new stories. Unfortunately, if you're a fan of those shows, they will not be coming back. But I just started watching Lucifer, so we're like 3 episodes into the new season, right?
It's good.
There's always a chance that they could pick it up, and what I like about Lucifer is that they keep the tone. They weren't like, yay, we can have nudity and swearing and a bunch of stuff. So far, it maybe pushes it a hair
it pushes
more
it a little bit more
than Fox, but not. It's not R-rated or anything like that.
It's not like we compare it to what the last season of Xena.
Well, yeah.
But the way I kind of look at it is this. Because it's a limited number of episodes, we get the same level of quality of story in Lucifer.
Yeah.
But it's a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Like, I really like this last season.
How many episodes?
I want to say it's like 10.
Okay. Because, I like Lucifer, but it was...
Yeah.
It's the similar setup where you have the tiny bit of plot in every episode, and then you have the murder of the week that they're trying to go and solve. Which in some of the regular shows, it did seem like they really stretched out those stories to fill the full season. So.
Well, especially because the way they write that stuff is they get picked up on the back 9. They don't know if it will be so like they have the story they're going to tell, and then they stretch it out however many episodes they end up getting.
Yeah.
And the last season of Lucifer had a lot of episodes, if I recall. Season 3 was...
Well, and they had those 2 episodes that aired after it was canceled, too, which were like the 2,
weird ones?
Fill-in episodes that sucked. But...
I don't know. The fact that Neil Gaiman kind of voiced God in those was...
Yeah, but it was a bad episode. It just... one of them was...
It was we have 2 more episodes to do, and we've already done the finale, basically.
No, as far as I understand, they were like fill-in episodes that were filmed early that they just never did anything with. Because one of them is an episode totally focused around what's her name, the CSI girl, blanking on her name, and the other was the Neil Gaiman God one. They were not the same. It was shown together as one episode, but it was 2 separate episodes. Yeah. And they were just filler. Like,
I don't know. I like the little what if world, but as I said,
that's what it was. Yeah, the what if one.
What if world? Maybe they could put a Matt Ryan in that show.
Oh, they should. Yeah, if there's, we'll talk about something in a second here, but I've liked Lucifer quite a bit. So they just introduced Eve, so I'm see where they go with that. Charlie, now we'll keep spoiler free. I haven't seen it, but you've seen the first episode of Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it so far. It's a little. See, this is Joy's a spoiler free. I will say this.
Origin. I'm assuming Origin episode.
Kind of,
yeah.
So
I'm assuming all the trailers are from the first episode.
So the way I would put it is this. I'm invested in a lot of the characters, and because of the way the show is being told, it's definitely a very different tone than the other shows, which is good. It's definitely leaning more on the horror, which is good.
Right.
I really like the way they cast Alec Holland. Okay. Like, I thought I liked his actor and the character that they portrayed there a lot. Yeah. I do agree that Abby Arcane is a little young for the expertise she's supposed to be bringing.
Okay.
Well, she's basically gets sent by the CDC,
right?
And she's supposed to be like this big expert person that looks like she may have just come out of college.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I know.
TV.
But no, it's good. I like it. I like the direction they're going with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Charlie,
I'm not sure I will watch it more than once, though. Yeah.
I rarely watch anything more.
Well, I'm just saying, for me, like the horror genre in general, tends to put something into a watch once category for me. I'm not invested in that genre beyond like the initial story.
But what he will rewatch, and probably what I will rewatch at some point, is Doom Patrol.
Yes.
That was really good. I finished that up.
Yeah, I need to. No spoilers.
We're not spoiling it because we'll talk about it once you finish.
Yeah, so I started. I had a few shows kind of going at once, and me and Leanne are watching a few things. We're watching Lucifer. I was watching. I'm almost done. Umbrella Academy, which has been okay.
Oh, I love Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, it's okay. At the first, it was a little slow to start.
So
I have like 2 episodes left, I think, and it's picking up a bit.
Here's the way I see Umbrella Academy. I like every episode better than the previous episode.
Maybe.
Like, I feel like that's one of the few shows that, like, I get more into it, more invested, and the episodes get better and better and better.
Maybe. It is the last, like, 2 episodes now that we actually have kind of, like, the plot's all coming together. We know the quote-unquote bad guy, sort of all the reveals of... obviously not all the reveals, but things are starting to kind of come together. So I've liked it better. Yeah, I don't dislike it at all, but it is, it's I don't love it, but
that's okay.
I do like.
You're still going to order me the library edition.
So others are coming out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna polish that off hopefully the next day or two, and then burn through Doom Patrol. Get caught up. So I don't think we'll finish it by next week, but I'll try to get through Doom Patrol pretty soon because I do want to start Swamp Thing. I'm very excited for Swamp Thing. But man, yeah, Matt Ryan. If there's a chance in hell that they get, no pun intended again, if there's a chance in hell they get him to be Constantine on Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing or Lucifer, like if he just hops between like.
Well, I finished off all the CW shows, so I'm caught up on everything for the season.
I'm still a bit behind on those.
Yeah. I like what they're. I mean, we're getting teases for all the shows for Crisis.
Yeah.
Do you guys Arrow? Do you care?
So I still need to finish catching up on Arrow, and I need to catch up on Legends. Okay. I finished Flash. I finished Supergirl.
Yeah, Flash and Supergirl just kind of end. Like they're fine. I like them. They were good seasons. Arrow sets up a. I mean, the show's over, right? They're basically at the end of the show now. We have 10 episodes, and it's kind of part of Crisis. So
they're doing like a half season to finish off.
It's 10 episodes.
Yeah, they're doing a half season. From what I understand, like Arrow, the show is not part of the crossover, even though the characters will most likely be part of the crossover.
Yeah. And I have to assume it's going to be just. I'm assuming it's just going to be him for most of the rest of the show because they definitely, they do some stuff at the end. I won't spoil it for you guys. Legends, though, I like this season quite a bit. There's a weird turn, like kind of one of the bigger plot points in the back half of the season. It's a little goofy, but
as goofy as that whatever blue
Bebo
thing.
It's
Bebo
different.
will never go away now. Bebo is eternal.
But do we
get a replacement nipple?
The last, yeah. You don't even know where you don't even know.
Really? God damn it!
Multiple episodes involve the nipples.
Oh God,
the nipple. Okay, multiple episodes. But we get the last minute of Legends sets up next season, and it seems like it's going to be the setup is pretty cool because every season they've sort of had different.
They kind of recycle and like bring other people in or.
Well, it's been magical creatures this season.
Yeah.
Next season is going to be like mass murderers and dictators and like reincarnated people.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, that show's really good about changing every season. Like no two seasons of that show are even remotely the same.
Yeah.
Well, Legends is just the fun one.
Yeah, Legends is a lot of fun. I really like Legends. So Swamp Thing, very excited to get into that, and that's not like 15 or 16 like Doom Patrol, right? Isn't that shorter?
No,
Is it
so
10, 11?
It's 10, but it was supposed to be 13, and they like cut it.
Oh, that's
back.
right. They cut it. Yeah, that's right. So hopefully it ends on there.
Next live action is Stars and Stripes or
Stargirl got pushed back a little bit. Young Justice, the back half of season 3 is, I think, next.
Yeah, I think so.
Stargirl is, I want to say, early 2020.
Okay. Well, we were supposed to have Harley at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, Harley, I believe, is still the end of the year, the animated series. I think.
Are they doing the second season of Titans at the end of the year?
I don't know if that's coming before Stargirl. Stargirl might. There may be a bit of a gap.
That's a fairly decent gap.
I was just disappointed that the Batman Team Mutant Ninja Turtle direct-to-video didn't hit the service today.
Oh, because the Justice League Fatal 5 one was like day and day, right? Yeah.
So I'm guessing because of
That's
the joint Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I would assume.
Well, I'm still pretty sure it's being distributed by Warner, but I'm guessing they had issues putting it on the service.
Yeah, they'll probably put it down the road. So
hopefully.
Yeah, I did watch the. I'd fallen way back on the animated movies, but I did watch the
Fatal 5,
the Fatal 5 one because I love the
Legion.
Legion.
Was really good.
Yeah, it was all right. I just
my only complaint
I still have to pick up the DVD for all the extras and stuff.
Yeah, my only complaint with the Fatal 5 one is they made sure to name drop all the other members of the sort of Bruce Timm Justice League.
Yeah.
But they only brought back the voice cast for like 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this too is based on the Lightning Saga,
Brad Meltzer,
Jeff Johns,
Justice League of America,
JLA, JSA stuff. So they sort of took cues from that for this movie. But I don't know that they did a good job of kind of explaining, because I knew what was going on, but I don't know if a casual person would kind of get what was going on with Lightning Lad. It felt very like they didn't. I don't know that they set it up very well, but it's the Legion. I enjoyed it. I mean, even if they're really only there for the very last scene, I love my Legion. So.
No, I mean, so I watched it with some friends of mine who are not as well versed in the comic books, and like at the end of that, while I was very invested and happy, they're like, "So tell me a little bit more."
Yeah.
So yeah, there was definitely aspects of that unless you know certain characters and that stuff, you don't even necessarily know that. Oh no, that was real trauma. That's this.
Yeah. Well, even when I'm watching the episode or when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this is based on the Lightning Saga, right? Like I could just knowing the story. I didn't know that it was based on it. I thought it was just a totally original story. So as the episode was going on and Lightning Lad was all weird and crazy, I was like, really? That's where they're going with this? Okay, that's cool, but this is not the story. what does it have to do with the Fatal Five? Okay, I guess they're here, but what? But I still enjoyed it enough.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping they do more. It's hard to tell with direct-to-videos these days how they're doing.
We're going to talk Doomsday Clock 10 here for a few minutes. Then we're going to get to some questions, and then we've got our... we're going to wrap up with some big spoiler talk. And this is spoilers for Doomsday Clock 10 as well, so if you don't want to know, you may want to jump ahead a little bit. But yeah, we kind of talked around this a little bit last week, but we definitely want to spend a little time here talking about what's set up in Doomsday Clock 10. Brock's given us an issue to flip through if we want. Thank you, Brock. So let's recap a little bit with Doomsday Clock here. For those that haven't maybe been following or keeping up. Dr. Manhattan, the one of the heroes / villains / forces of nature in the original Watchmen comic. Mm-hmm. He's left his Earth. He says, "I'm out of here. I'm sick of this weird universe." He can travel through space and time and go all sorts of. He can kind of see everything at once. So a lot of this book has been trying to solve the mystery for the characters in the Watchmen universe. They're like, where the hell did Dr. Manhattan go? Let's go find him. For the DC characters, they're like, who the hell is this big blue naked guy on the moon? Let's go, or on Mars. Let's go fucking fight him. Mm-hmm. And there'd been a lot of hints and teases that Dr. Manhattan was So when New 52 launched, which was DC's big rejiggering, of their continuity. It was just a story. There was no plot. It didn't happen.
Hold on. I want to give the listeners a moment to just bathe in the fact that you said it. Okay, now
just for you, bro.
I mean, the closest we got at that was the stuff with Pandora.
Oh, yeah. They set it up, quote unquote, through Flashpoint. But DC had always said, look, New 52 is not like a altered universe or a parallel dimension. It's just our new publishing line. We're not gonna. This isn't something that could be rebooted because it's just its own thing. Well, that did not last because as time went on, they were able to kind of massage a lot of stuff back to being normal through Rebirth, and then we get pretty definitive talk from Jeff Johns, who's the writer of Doomsday Clock and a few other books, and for people at DC that they're like, yeah, we basically are gonna say that New 52 happened for a reason. It was an actual change in continuity, and it was Dr. Manhattan's fault that he did it. So for the readers, a lot of the questions of Doomsday Clock has been, well, what happened? What did Dr. Manhattan do? How did this happen? So we get, finally in Doomsday Clock 10, the most answers we've got from anything in this entire series.
Yeah.
And it sets up, to me, what is easily one of the... It could possibly be the single greatest just answer to how the hell does continuity work in a comic book company in DC Comics? How... And the genius thing about this is it can almost apply to the Marvel Universe, the MCU, the animated series, video games.
It just applies to it applies to any fictional material in the sense that
ongoing
fictional material. Yeah. In the sense that you have it's the core is always there.
Yeah.
It's just when you change something, what are the ripple effects that happen?
Yep.
Right. It's in this he changes the lantern, right? He moves the lantern.
Well, hold on. Whoa. We'll get there. So the issue starts with him talking to Nathaniel Dusk, which is a older. That's a comic. I mean, it's a thing that DC has published. This is a character that exists.
Which one?
Nathaniel Dusk, the private investigator guy. That's kind of like the background stories of a bunch of these books.
Was that some old Vertigo stuff?
No. I don't know where it first appeared. I think it was... No, it wasn't Vertigo. I think it was just a regular DC comic. But it's this private investigator guy. But so they have an actor that's playing him, and Dr. Manhattan's kind of going back and forth in time to all these different points. He keeps meeting the same guy over and over and over again. But he realizes very quickly after at one point when he sees him that he's there at the birth of Superman. When he sees the car smashing, Superman smashing the car, right? Mm-hmm. It's funny too because actually I've been reading a bunch of the Action Comics on the DC Universe app, and he's just beating up some criminals that are in that car. That's what he takes the car and he's like, it's like a corrupt politician or something. I can't remember what's in the first issue. It takes him, just smashes him. This is when we get into the real meat of the story, what we've been waiting for here, is that Dr. Manhattan realizes that because he's able to sort of travel back and forth in time and universes, he realizes that this universe, the DC universe where Superman is Superman in 1938 is the beginning of basically the just what they call it, the Metaverse. So this is the prime universe that affects every other thing. When the main universe changes, it changes everything else. So in this universe, you have the formation of the Justice Society of America. Dr. Manhattan moves Green Lantern's his lantern 6 inches. He never becomes Green Lantern. By removing Superman from this universe, the JSA are never inspired by Superman. The JSA never form. Since the JSA never form, you never have...
Well, the way I was reading it, it's not that he was removing him from the universe. It was sort of shunting him, like, now Superman arrives at this date and, like...
Right.
It's almost as if it's every time we revisit where Superman came from or the origin or... because I mean the timestamps that he goes through.
It's every time.
It's like 1956,
right? So that's the Silver Age.
The Silver Age change.
It's where they redo his origin.
86, which is
the Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel
that's
Crisis.
The John Byrne Man of Steel stuff.
And then the Crisis stuff is. When was Crisis?
Well, then Crisis was 86, but this is. Yeah. But that's what this is. This is. The change of the universe in Crisis and the Man of Steel origin.
Well, they talk about his parents are dead here, his parents aren't dead here.
Right.
Like it even to me it even touched on Earth 2, or the Earth 1 books.
Right, but by changing the past in this universe, it alters everything else around it. So the multiverse is altered when the main universe is altered. The metaverse, the DC universe, the prime universe, whenever that changes, everything else around it changes.
Well, that's what we've referred to as that's what we've referred to as the prime, right? Like Earth Prime. Like we're talking about like the multiverse and stuff. We talk about Earth in this number or prime. Yep. Now it's going in more establishing in the sense of this is the metaverse, this is the DC main line, right? Everything changes off of this. The multiversity, everything, like it's all affected from this one.
My brain just made a really odd connection.
What's that?
Crap.
I'm thinking back to Deadpool Kill Illustrated, where he went around killing the characters that inspired the characters that would become comic book characters.
So they mentioned the Anti-Monitor and Extant being responsible for the shifts in Superman's timeline. So as time grows and shrinks, Superman's always there at the formation of the universe. So when it's 1938, whether it's 1986, or whether it's 2011.
Which is cool, but it's also weird to get into some of that when reading the current Justice League book that gets into the Anti-Monitor and Monitor a little bit there too.
Well, that is the genius thing about the Metaverse concept, is that it makes every story count. Everything they've ever done has happened. It's just as time changes, these events shift and ripple, and they're sort of replayed. So by
this makes Convergence legit.
Well, Convergence always was. And look at Convergence, right? That's almost like those are
the ripples.
Worlds.
Those are what was left. Like those are the leftover stories that we never got to.
It's like the metaverse it's the stuff that was left after. It was the stuff that was changed, and then where did they go from there, right? So by changing Superman, by pushing Superman to come to Earth in the 80s or whatever, you now have the new origin with the this goes to Jeff Johns, the Superman
Legion stuff.
The action, Jonathan Kent dies, and
with them dying in the car accident, that was in
what one
was that in Secret Origin? Was that in the Superman Secret Origin? Or was that in Morrison's Action Comics? I can't remember which one that was in. But that's like a more recent version of his parents dying. That may have been in Morrison's Action. And now we have the New 52. You have Wally West pop in, Kid Flash, and be like, "Oh, fuck, what have you done?" Before before the Dr. Manhattan kind of pushes him back. So now, even though we've had the recreation of the universe constantly over and over, Superman's always there at the beginning of it. Everything shifts around him, and we once again see the final thing Dr. Manhattan can see. The furthest he can see in the future is Superman pissed off, about to punch him, and then everything's black. And the question is, and he destroys me, or I destroy the metaverse. So it could be that Dr. Manhattan destroys the entire DC universe. I'm going to guess that doesn't happen, but I love this concept so much that you can have every event matter and a way to bring them back if you want, a way to revisit them if you want, a way to explain away inconsistencies, and a way to change stuff in the future. And you can apply this to the multiverse being Marvel Comics and other comic companies and the video games and the movies and us, right? The real world. All these ripple effects outside.
What Wally says.
I blame Dr. Manhattan for Trump, by the way, too. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
In here, when Wally comes, he says, "I know what you did. Whatever you did, they'll stop you." And then Manhattan says it himself. He's like, "I realize that the metaverse is not passive. Like an organism fighting to survive, there are aspects of it I have underestimated." It's kind of like it's part of the creators creating the content, the fans ingesting the content, and giving feedback, whether it's positive or in some cases and very vocalized negative. And it blows your mind. It's like Super Gods level Grant Morrison book in here, and it's like, but it's explained really great. It's simply
it takes what Morrison did with Hypertime and even expands on it more, right?
Yeah.
Hypertime is the idea that you have this sort of ripple effect that anything can happen, and that every little permeation is a different universe. But this takes it that all of those exist, and this sliding timeline actually, makes continuity work for all these weird inconsistencies and problems and reboots and restarts. And that, why is there 0 multiverses and a dark multiverse and infinite? Because
and 52
because it's all tied to the whims of that prime metaverse.
It's kind of like it's kind of like taking each one of these metaverses, right?
Yeah,
and assigning them a line, right? And now you just have this strip of lines like in front of you, but instead of looking at it as a strip, you turn it and you're looking at it like clear, all of them
straight
at the same time.
Yeah.
So you have all of this information that it all exists at the same moment. God, did I just blow my brain out? I
don't know. For me, it kind of comes down to that whole idea of the multiverse. Typically, is explained around the idea of what if you chose to go left instead of right. Yeah. It's the one choice will lead down a different path. Well, this sets that initial choice to sort of the prime DCU, and therefore everything sort of forks from the decisions that are made after this change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can now have, potentially, a world where the Golden Age JSA can be here in the current universe by screwing around with the metaverse concept a little bit. Yeah. You can grab stuff out of the metaverse and put it in current day. if you change the current universe in some fashion.
Yeah, it's being able to sift through and see what works and what doesn't and where it can go. Because they already showed us that. The biggest example of that we have right now is with what's going on with Superman and Lois and Jonathan. Like they were plucked out by Brainiac.
Yeah,
and pulled into what is now currently what's going on in the metaverse. Like, so it's this weird thing where technically Brainiac pulled them out, but it's one of those things where.
Yeah, because remember, the Superman that's around now is not the same Superman from New 52. All right, that was they merged. It was like he was like a
weird
piece of him
merging it.
Yeah.
But again, that works as well because you take aspects of the 52 one and this one that Brainiac plucked out, and we're merging them together.
Yeah.
So.
No, but now my brain is just going, I wonder what happened to the multiverse when Flashpoint happened. Because now the entire multiverse would have changed around Flashpoint.
Yeah. So again, like Crisis, like 0 Hour, like the splitting off of Earth 1 and Earth 2, like Flashpoint, we now have a name for all this effect and the reformed universe, why it causes stuff to split off. So you have infinite Earths prior, right? And then you have no parallel dimensions post-Crisis, and then you have infinite kind of shades of it through hypertime, and then 52 during 52, now the Dark Multiverse, and is seemingly infinite multiverse again, and the cracks in the source wall through Justice League.
What's hilarious, if you look at Multiversity, like I remember the cover is that circle. It looks like just a drop, and everything will ripple out from there. It's...
Well, even the concept in Multiversity was like, there's 52 multiverses, and then each multiverse has the 52 multiverses from there, and each of those have 52 multiverses. So it's still the infinite multiverse.
Yeah.
It just,
but it's I can't remember what it. But I think there's something like with the mathematics of it. But I love the explanation for the Dark Multiverse. Flip the goddamn map over.
Yeah. I like that a lot. So I do want to just say that 28 minutes ago, Brian Michael Bendis tweeted, "Hey, Legion of Superhero fans."
Oh shit!
So I'm on Bendis alert here while we record the rest of this podcast.
Well, I mean, again, like, what does this like? What is? I mean, Legion is in here.
Yeah,
like,
well, so the genius part of this again, by getting rid of Superman. The JSA never formed by no JSA. The Justice League never formed, which never creates the Legion of Superheroes, right? So time on both ends are cut off.
But the thing is what's happening here is Dr. Manhattan is not only changing what's going on with Superman, he's changing what's going on with other characters as well to see what the effect is.
Right.
And that's the whole point is that he can go and change Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Right, Alan Scott? Yeah.
Yep.
He can go and change Alan Scott Green Lantern, but we'll still get superheroes because Superman exists. We might not have.
It's just different.
It's different, right?
And he doesn't exist in 1938, right?
Yeah.
He exists at some other point.
But I think again, one of the best things about this is that it gives DC a start, like that point. Like Superman is the base, the bedrock, the foundation of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if we change that, that's the ripple effect that we get. But we can change stuff as we go, and that doesn't change the core of what the metaverse is.
Well, I think this is a concept that you kind of can't get rid of now.
No.
Yeah.
No, this is a concept you run the fuck with.
Well, what I mean is,
it's called an Elseworlds line.
Saying you get rid of the metaverse just means it's another part of the metaverse, right? Being like, well, we're not going to use that metaverse concept anymore. Like, cool parallel dimension in the metaverse. You know, like the infinite multiverse, and it's you take the infinite multiverse concept, you take the hypertime concept, and this is like both of those on crack. I just don't know. Like, Johns is pretty smart to set this up because I don't know how you get rid of this. You can just say, okay, there's no more infinite multiverse. We're section off just our own multiverse. You could say, well, hypertime doesn't really function quite a bit. The metaverse concept. They published these books in 1938, right? They published all these other things. You sort of can't change that. So I don't know. I think this is a great concept that it almost is.
It gives you the ability to do something like with what's going on with Green Lantern right now. Like Green Lantern is separate from the DCU, like the Morrison stuff.
It's not. It's
like his. It feels separate, right?
But it's with the continuity of everything.
Yeah, but again, if Morrison wanted to, it could be something that's not even connected to what's going on now. It could be something that's connected at a different point.
Yeah, I could, but I mean, it is set now. I mean, there's some. God, I'm trying to think of what it was. There was at least one or two things that was clearly set now, because you had the reformation of Oa. It starts with the reformation of new Oa. So that was directly referenced in Green Lantern before they restarted it. But yeah, no, I love the idea of the metaverse. I really want to see where they go with it. And we got 2 issues left, so hopefully they wrap this up in a cool way.
Before the end of the year.
Well, yeah, hopefully before the end of the year.
Sorry, I had to throw that in for Kevin Sharp.
It seems more likely again to me that they'll wrap it up before the end of the year.
Charlie, when do you think we're going to see a deluxe size nice hardcover?
Well, the softcover comes out, or the hardcover or whatever comes out pretty soon. I'm just kind of
But of the first
half. First 6,
the first half, I'm not buying that.
Comes out like November. Yeah.
No, I'm expecting a nice collection probably next year around Christmas.
Let me go back. What was I going to say?
Hopefully I don't have to wait for a 10th anniversary omnibus.
Yeah. Hopefully not. I think that's all our big topics. Then we're going to do some questions now. Yeah, I think that's it. I got some questions. Sorry, I got to check. Let's see what, no.
Bendis and Legion.
No update, Bendis.
And Legion.
No update, Bendis. Come on, baby. We're recording. We got maybe a half,
ask him a
40
question.
minutes left. We got some time.
Just give him your number and have him Skype in real quick.
Let's see. This is from Ulysses. He says, Daredevil Volume 1 and Volume 2, the omnibuses by Brian Michael Bendis, is coming out in January 2020. I'm about to pre-order. Fantastic. That's good. Mm-hmm. I remember him talking about that. He's been looking for those. This has been up for a long time. I'm also a little disappointed about Last Night on Earth, the Batman Last Night on Earth by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
What?
That it's not a magazine format like Batman Damned.
Oh, okay. Ulysses?
Yeah.
Yeah, the magazine format needs to die and go away. We don't like it.
You don't like it. I'm fine with it.
It's because it's your size, Charlie. It's not my size.
I would prefer it be in a traditional comic book format.
Yeah.
But, whatever. The creators want to do whatever they want to do. The John Romita Jr. Frank Miller one is going to be magazine size. And I believe the Joker one they just announced is going to be magazine size.
The Joker Harley?
Yeah.
Or Harley Joker, the Criminal Sanity?
Yeah. So that's going to be magazine size.
Damn it. I'll buy it.
Potbelly Gamers says...
Not Superman one, though.
Yeah. Last Night on Earth was amazing.
Yeah,
Last Night was
pretty good. It was pretty good.
Right.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do in this sort of future world. When he said it was sort of his take on Dark Knight, I was wondering what they were going to do. And yeah, I liked it. It's a good first issue.
Yeah. I still don't understand how that Joker head is in that lamp.
Could be fake. Could be in his imagination.
Considering Batman's the only one who's talked to it so far.
Yeah.
This is true.
Potbelly Gamer says, in Doomsday Clock 10, so is it Manhattan that keeps changing the timelines? No. He changed it once, right? He changed it with the JSA.
He definitely saw it change, and then he started...
Yeah. He even says, like, oh, the Anti-Monitor and X-Stand have done this. Like, let me poke around. He made New 52.
What he's doing is he is basically telling you exactly what creative tool was utilized to implement these changes. So at the time, Anti-Monitor was the one that influenced a big change in Superman in the DC universe with Crisis.
Yeah.
Right? You have
with this, it's Flashpoint.
With this,
right?
Yeah. With this
pushes Superman.
Yeah.
But he's able to, when I'm reading this as when Flashpoint happens, he's able to alter the JSA so the Green Lantern never becomes Green Lantern. The JSA is never formed. The Justice League still becomes a thing, but it doesn't become the thing that influences 1,000 years in the future.
So here's one of the things that I took from this, and part of this also comes from the Darkseid War stuff.
Yeah.
I got the impression that he started messing with the timeline after Flashpoint, but I don't think he made all the changes at once. I think he
I think what Charlie's saying is I think Flashpoint was the shiny object for Dr. Manhattan. It was the thing that caught his attention.
Well, I think it's what caused Superman's kind of the metaverse to update to 2011, right?
But what I'm saying is, and they talk about this in the way that the universe hadn't solidified yet in Darkseid War, that I think Dr. Manhattan kept making small changes along the way.
Yep.
But the thing
which also explains the idea of sort of creators deciding what was going to take and not take and that kind of stuff.
To me, this harkened back to that Animal Man, where he's becoming realizing that there's something not on the page, right? Isn't some of your favorite comic book pages those Animal Man ones?
Oh, I love Animal Man. Well, Animal Man, those pages, those issues of Animal Man, he's kind of outside of the reality at that point, which totally plays into the metaverse concept of being able to influence the world and the multiverse from an outside point of view, or an outside place.
Well, no, and the thing is, if you also look at it, I mean, this is also bringing the Alan Moore Doomsday Clock characters.
Yeah, the Watchmen stuff.
Into...
Well, this also explains why Comedian was back, right?
Yeah.
Because it could just sort of alter the universe.
Yeah.
He also says, I didn't understand why Superman never joined the Justice League. Well,
Justice League or Justice Society?
Or Justice Society, sorry. The Justice Society in the old books, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were honorary members, but they were never part of the regular team.
No.
Not even back in the 30s.
Because back then it was they were powerhouses of their own. They teamed up all the small characters, and they were I wish I had a better understanding of how the publishing was run at that point, because I know I've read articles that said that a lot of those companies, they were kind of weird, almost like independent contractors or imprints within National Periodics, what became DC Comics. So I don't they would team up for a page, go off on their own adventures, which are done by different creative teams, and then come back for a page or two. But it was this weird joint ownership thing, because I don't think it was as cut and dry one company owned all of them. I remember reading a lot about this, something like Alter Ego, some of the fanzines and fan magazines. I wish I knew more about kind of how the company structure was at that point, because I don't think it's as cut and dry as it is now, where it's just DC owns them or Warner Brothers owns them. Mm-hmm. Or AT&T.
I
From Scott,
kind of feel like if Kevin was here, he'd tell us all about it.
He might, he might have a better idea.
Well,
Scott,
I'm just curious what Kevin's thoughts were on this.
Yeah, I
in general, as
hopefully next week,
as kind of that as kind of an older fan, of the Silver and Age stuff and the Golden Age stuff, because that's more of what
Silver, silver and bronze, Or late Silver and bronze, Scott says, now that we're 3 years removed from the end and almost 8 years removed from the beginning of it, what are your guys' thoughts on New 52 overall? Personally, the more I think about it, the more I realize I really do hate it. I think my opinion's fairly similar to how it was kind of by the middle and end. The good stuff was fantastic, and the bad stuff was really bad. It really ruined a couple characters.
I think for me, it's you have the New 52 lows, which is Hawk and Dove and
Superman, Teen Titans. Post-Morrison.
UDC or DCU.
Well, a lot of those books were fantastic. They just sold like shit.
But stuff like we got Scott Snyder's Batman out of it. We got more of Johns' Green Lantern, which turned into Vendetti actually doing something decent with it.
Not his first thing.
Not his first. Not his first. But towards the end,
it wasn't until Rebirth.
Yeah.
I mean the New God War stuff was good.
It was building. It was building, but it was too slow. You have your Justice League stuff. Stuff that I like that we don't have anymore: Demon Knights, Frankenstein, Agent of Shade.
Yeah,
like some really cool stuff. Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Animal Man. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff that came out of it.
Justice League Dark is fantastic.
Justice League Dark, yeah.
iVampire.
I mean, my mentality on it is just like every other thing. Like, it was very good and very experimental in a lot of ways when it first launched.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like between, as you said, like iVampire and Demon Knights and a lot of the other stuff. But, I mean, they kind of had their, like, okay, these are very solid creative teams on these books. These are more experimental titles. And some of that stuff has kind of got a little more resurgence lately. Like, they've done the Animal Man Omnibus coming out, and I know they put out a few of the other things. Like, I know Red Hood and the Outlaws not too long ago had an omnibus come out. And so I kind of feel like there's probably 10 good runs in there at least that deserve nice collections and that kind of thing. And for the most part, I don't think that there was an abnormal amount of crap compared to any other time you have a line of books. Like, there's some really good stuff and some really bad stuff, and you always hope there's more good than bad.
Well, and if nothing else, we got Doomsday Clock and the Rebirth special out of it. Yeah. That's totally worth it. Rebirth Comics, one of the greatest comics ever published. So, well, I mean, I have no problem with it.
The way I look at it is we have a very solid run of John's on Justice League. We had the Azarello Wonder Woman. We had, like, the Gail Simone Batgirl. I wish they would put an omnibus out. I did see they did the Wonder Woman.
We got the Jeff Lemire, Sorrentino Green Arrow.
Yeah.
What else do we get?
We got the Animal Man. We got the Swamp Thing. We got Batman. We like.
Well,
I would still say
Tomasi's Batman and Robin was at that time.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Oh no, there's. If you focus on the New 52 as a whole, I understand the negative. But if you really start focusing on some of the books that happened around that, there's still plenty of good.
Yeah, it's from Tyler
Willits.
Tyler Willits.
What's up, Tyler?
I scrolled too far.
Him and his wife need to just have a book of the weird shit that they like talk to each other about or do. I don't know. There was some weird song that had to be sung before bed. It was pretty funny.
Okay. He says the opposite question from last week. He had a question last week about
how amazing is Heroes in Crisis?
He says, what comic story that everyone loves do you just can't stand? That's a good question.
Probably a Marvel book.
I don't know if everyone loves Deadpool, but I'll definitely say that I'm not a big Deadpool fan. He's got a lot of fans. No, I like Venom well enough. I mean, I'm trying to think of specific stories that people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything that I consider loved that I hate.
Yeah, I was a little sour on Bendis's New Avengers for quite a while, but I actually turned around to really like it as time went on. Cosmic Ghost Rider right now, does that count? Yeah, I'm just not into Cosmic Ghost Rider at all. I don't like. Yeah, I generally tend to. There's little that I tend to really hate. That's like. I mean, we sell a lot of copies of Major X, but I don't know if I wouldn't say everyone loves Major X. I'd say most people don't. I'd say almost nobody does. Actually, I actually might be Immortal Hulk. I think Immortal Hulk is bland to nothing, but people talk about it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I read the first 10 issues and was like, I guess whatever.
He's an immortal. He's in a Hulk.
It was nothing.
It's a very different.
I know.
So
maybe the last few issues have become amazing, but I don't.
I agree that I don't necessarily think that it's some huge groundbreaking thing.
It's just some random. It's just some random generic horror stories with the Hulk. It's just nothing.
But I kind of like that tone for a different tone for a Hulk book.
It's fine.
They've done this before.
It's a strong Hulk book.
They did that with Jason Aaron's Hulk.
But I don't think that
like it was Island of Dr. Urbana.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I find it more fascinating when, like, you remember how much I loved the 616 Ultimates books, like where they were just really strong books, and nobody was talking about those except for us on the podcast being like, why is nobody reading those?
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way about the Hulk, like it's getting too much notice for what it is.
And I don't. His question is, I can't. That you can't stand. I don't hate it. It's just I think it's way overblown. But I don't dislike it. There's stuff that I really can't stand. I mean,
can I say it?
What's it?
The art in Black Cat.
Oh, let's again. Whatever. It's just shitty Marvel art. Welcome to every other book. I don't really have a good answer for this. I wish I did.
I don't have an answer that comes off the top of my head.
Like
I remember.
Which one?
For Tomorrow, the Azzarello Jim Lee Superman thing.
No, on average, no. People like the art, but the story was very blah. Yeah, I don't really have anything that's really coming to me.
Not that I like.
Anything that I really can't stand, I just stop. I don't keep reading. Right? So, I mean, I have personal biases against Civil War, but overall, I like Civil War, even though
no, for you, it should be anything written by Mark Millar. But like people eat that shit up, and you fucking can't stand it.
Do people love Sharky the Bounty Hunter?
Who the fuck knows?
Do people love like the last 5 books he shat out?
They love that magic order thing.
Yeah, people did like magic. Well, again, I can't. I'm not going to say I can't stand them. I never read them, so I don't know. Maybe they are fantastic. I just don't ever read it. So,
yeah, I don't have an answer for this one.
It's from Cole.
At least we talked about it for a little bit.
He says, "Who is your comic book crush?" My friend,
Jesus,
quote unquote, is obsessed with Black Cat. Pretty sure he has a shrine devoted to her in some dark corner of his house.
Is he at Toby's house?
I was going to say. Oh, okay. Hold on. Brock is Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. No. Be specific. Slutty Harley Quinn.
Toby's Black Cat. That I know. Yeah. Batgirl.
No, well, Toby's also Rogue.
I would think it's Black Cat, Batgirl, Rogue is like a distant third.
Which Batgirl though?
So it depends on how you. I love how we're talking Toby, but
yeah.
I think Toby has his.
You're avoiding it.
Toby has his ships, meaning like I don't think he has a huge crush on Batgirl as much as he wants Batgirl with and Rogue with Gambit and that kind of thing. Versus
but
Black Cat is all
Scott Shea. I'm gonna go through everyone. Hold on. Scott Shea is Gwen Stacy. Scott Shea is Gwen Stacy. Kevin Sharp. I want to say Jean Grey. I want to say Jean Grey.
It's Mary Marvel.
Mary Marvel. Oh, it could be Mary Marvel, huh? Yeah, it might be Mary Marvel. Charlie.
He's here.
I'm really curious to see who he does for me.
Yeah, let's get your guess first.
I mean, mine's death. That's not even a question. Who is Charlie's? That's a good question.
But quick question: which death though?
Oh, Sandman death.
I know, but which
all of them. It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Who would Charlie's be? Adult Hope. I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know. That's a really good question.
Charlie.
I don't know. I mean, I could be totally wrong on Scott and Kevin, but I think I have a pretty good. I think
Star Sapphire.
No,
damn it.
I don't know. Who'd yours be, Charlie?
Probably Talia.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, I would have got it had you given me a few more minutes. I would have got it. So yeah, I think that's everyone's. That sounds right. Yeah.
What about Bryce?
Oh, Bryce is Rogue. Bryce is 100% Rogue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Rogue? Yeah, it has to be Rogue. It has to be Rogue.
No, it's Armor.
No, jeez. No, it has to be Rogue. It's from Jack. Oh, here's an easy one. FMK, fuck, marry, kill. Morrison's Batman, Claremont's X-Men, and Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Come on, not even a question. Fuck Batman. Fuck Morrison's Batman, marry Sandman, kill Claremont's X-Men. Get the fuck out of here. Mutant scum.
I would kill...
What are you even thinking? Not even a question.
Yeah, that's pretty much mine.
Yeah.
Marry Sandman and fuck Morrison's.
Yeah.
Charlie, there's no... It's... No, Charlie. We're all marrying the same one.
No.
We're all killing the same one, and we're all fucking the same one.
He'd get rid of Sandman. He'd kill Sandman.
Oh,
that's the one I'm leaning towards right now, which is, but like, yeah, I'm not killing Claremont's X-Men. You're not going to get me to agree to that.
True.
No.
I forgot.
Jonathan says, now the DC Universe includes a massive digital archive. I've been going back and forth and poking around to see what I can see. I'm currently going through various Elseworlds books, JLA Destiny being my most recent. What's everyone's favorite Elseworld book besides Kingdom Come?
You
see, that's what he says. That's what he says. Because that's obviously going to be the answer. Outside of Kingdom Come, huh?
God, I haven't read.
Well, we were just talking about the Nail and another Nail the other day.
I haven't read it yet.
I like it.
I got it. I
like that book quite a lot.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff. I mean, I've seen when I've done
Golden Age considered an Elseworlds.
Yeah, I think Golden Age is considered Elseworlds.
Is it?
I mean, I haven't read very much of it. Like, I think in Blackest Night, the Batman Green Lantern thing was, I heard was good. What other Elseworld stuff? I mean, the
I'll look up the full list of Elseworld. Oh shit, there's a lot.
The Crime Syndicate stuff with the Justice League for Earth 2, or is it Earth? Yeah, Earth 2.
Red Rain has to be
Red Rain's
top of Charlie's list. That's going to be up there. God, there's so many.
Yeah,
all the crossover ones like Batman Alien and all the Batman Alien and Batman Alien 2 are really good. Yeah, there's so effing many Elseworlds. Does Elseworld's Finest what's that? The Superman Batman Elseworld's Finest? That's the Paul Dini one.
Yes.
The Mixoplex.
Yes, that one is amazing.
Mixpidolix and Batmite crossover. Hell yeah. You ever read that?
Oh, yeah.
That is fantastic. It's
and
just
they fight.
That's a world's finest.
They go well.
They go to every Elseworld.
They go to Kingdom Come as well. So does that count? That's a great one. I really like.
I would have to. For me, it would almost be. I like the. What was it? The Road or the Search for Ray Palmer in Countdown.
They do a similar thing where they go to all the Elseworlds.
Like they go to all the Elseworlds.
I mean, it's not
the thing. I read those and I enjoyed those because it was like a cool glimpse at all of the Elseworlds.
Yeah. They had all the Legend of the Dead Earths. They had all those Elseworld annuals.
What's the Western one?
They had the Kents.
There's the Kents, but what was the other one?
There was the JLA, Blazing Saddles or something like that.
No, it's not Blazing Saddles.
You know what I mean?
It's not Blazing Saddles.
Something like that. Patrick says, Ryan Higgins on Twitter said he's never read a comic book that made him cry. This was
Ryan Higgins. Ryan?
Yes.
Because Ryan Higgins is a jerk that hasn't given up his handle.
There was a thread hashtag on Twitter for a trending topic for comics that made you cry, and he says, why not? Why is a comic never made him cry? How about a movie, a Disney movie? Can Ryan cry? What about the rest of the gang? Has anyone else had a comic that made you cry? Books and comics, like writing, never. Never even close. It's weird.
I think since I've become a father, like some things in comics like pull at the strings a little bit more.
Yeah,
but it's not anything like crying.
Yeah. Even TV shows. Movies, definitely. I've definitely cried at some movies.
Yeah, what's that one I said that you bought and never...
Oh, Grave of the Fireflies? Oh, fucking burn that movie to the ground and never watch it again. Oh, I've absolutely had cried during movies. I've been very, on the verge of tears.
Yeah, tears.
But comics, never even close. It's weird. It's just something about the written word I just have I completely disconnect from emotionally. I love the stuff, right? But it's like a book, never even close. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a better question would be, what's a book that makes you rage, or what's a book that you're like, oh, that's fucking hot trash, or like instantaneously, like you don't even need to question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sad one. Charlie, do you cry?
No, I mean, I've definitely read some stuff that has, like, I think back to the Tom King second annual.
Oh yeah, the annual too. Yeah, with the cat and the bat. Like
that definitely kind of tugs at the heartstrings and stuff, but it did make me cry. I mean, I don't tend to cry.
Oh, you know what makes me cry when it comes to comic books?
What's that?
Looking at Marvel's variant incentive numbers. That makes me cry.
Sure.
I mean, I can even say that to a degree, there are certain comics that, like, by the time I got to the last issue of, I was just sad that I got to the last issue of it.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's understandable.
I think you know what? I think for me, one of the ones that kind of tugged a little harder was The Dark Knight, the Paul Dini kind of memoir.
Sort of, yeah.
That one was a little more, but I mean, it wasn't anything like I'm like,
yeah.
But I mean, it was just good. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
All right, next question.
So, soulless bastard.
No, we're all soulless bastards.
Anthony says, any character or book you thought you would never read but then turned around and ended up loving? For me, it's been Superman. I've always hated Superman. The hell? And then picked up Action Comics 1000 and I look forward to reading that book every month. So there's a lot of things on Twitter that are like, you know, what's your most controversial opinion, right? About whatever the thing is. And they were like, what's your most controversial opinion about Superman? And my tweet was, everyone that hates Superman is the worst person on earth. How the hell do you hate Superman?
He's too perfect.
He likes Anthony. No, well, not really. And he's fucking Superman. Like, everyone loves Superman. Everyone should love Superman.
I like Batman more.
You can like Batman more, but I don't get people, and I'm not trying to rag on Anthony here, but this just made me think of what was going on this weekend.
Just a scotch.
But people say they don't like Superman. What a weird thing. Like,
I mean, you can not like Superman. It's fine.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No,
it's
no,
okay.
No, not really. It's really bizarre. How the hell would
you know what it is? It's all those
like
people that
Superman.
don't like Superman probably like Cosmic Ghost Rider bullshit.
They probably do. Well, I'm very happy that you now like Superman. Hopefully, Bendis' Action Comics and Detective.
Hopefully, he got a copy of that Leviathan Rising.
Action and Superman keep going because his runs have been fantastic. Maybe not character. I mean, I'm kind of in for a character or out. I mean, maybe Squirrel Girl a little bit when the new series started. I was like, what the hell? But I knew the character and this quirky enough that I got into it. I mean, there's definitely been runs where I had little interest and turned out to really like. But character wise, no, I kind of have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
For me, it's probably Walking Dead.
Just in general,
I hate zombies.
Oh, okay.
I think zombies are the worst. I mean, to me, it's one of the stupidest tropes. No, seriously, I hate the zombie genre.
Yeah.
But I read Walking Dead, despite everyone's like, "This is great." Fine, I'll try it. And I love Walking Dead. Like, Walking Dead's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like something that like people. Yeah, I mean.
So this is a weird one, just because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I know there are characters I've literally done that exact sort of thing on, but I think I reached a point where I just read enough stuff by different creators and such that there's no such thing as a character that I couldn't get interested in if it had the right writer on it.
Well, I always say I don't like Deadpool, but then the X-Force Deadpool, he was great in that, right? He's great in the old comics, right? I read the Joe Kelly series. I really liked
run that he was in.
Yeah. It's just variations of the character I don't care for at all, right? I don't really care about like Miss Marvel or Ironheart, but I've read them in comics. Thought that they were just fine, but I have no interest in their ongoing series. But so it just depends on what you do with the character.
Yeah.
This might be the last question. It's from Tor. Says, how do you feel about the current run of Aquaman? Has Kelly Sue DeConnick done a good job, but a little up to Chon's and Abnett's run of the character? What would you like to see from her run? I would like to see Aquagirl back, Lorena Marquez.
Kelly Sue DeConnick's run on Aquaman has been shit.
It's been terrible.
If you want to compare it to how crappy it is, I would rather reread Vendetti's shit after John's than Kelly Sue DeConnick's. And I'm like,
if there's a saving grace, it's that 48 was basically origin. He's getting his memory back. I believe 49 he gets back with Mera, and 50 he just fights. Black Manta. Like, I kind of get the feeling they're just completely scrapping the story, because what insanity do you have to have Aquaman not be Aquaman and have no memory of himself, and he thinks he's someone else when an Aquaman movie comes out that makes $1 billion? And it's just a bad story, first of all. It's just nonsensical pap. It's just nothing. And who wanted this? Who thought this was a good idea for the character? The art's been fine. The story's been just, we're gonna kind of take some like
Norse sea gods,
and just
guess what we just talked about? Gods and drowned Earth.
He lost his memory, and
and the thing is,
it's just
how he lost his memory. I'm still on.
He just lost it.
He just fell into the sea and lost his memory.
Well, they don't really go into it. I mean, in Drowned Earth, he's like, "Poop," and he just gets washed out. And they're like, "Well, we'll find him one day." And then in Aquaman, he just wakes up, and they're like, "Yeah, you're on this. You're helping out these random people because you have no memory of who you are." Like, it's just so bad. I've just been like, the last two issues.
I plow through all right. The last issue got better.
Well, again, it just here's Aquaman's origin, cool, and now Mera's coming back, fantastic, and hopefully the book just gets back to being a normal Aquaman book soon.
I haven't read this run at all, primarily just because I fell behind on the Abnett stuff, and I'm like, they just need to fucking put out hardcovers. A movie's coming out, they'll put
Yeah, well, they put out part of it in hardcover. They put out one hardcover.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Johns' run is really good during New 52. The Abnett's run, the first 12, 18 issues or whatever was kind of okay, but the middle part of Abnett's run during Rebirth was fucking amazing. When they go like full fantasy, that was great. That's
Aquaman has been a solid book since Johns took it over in New 52. Even those back ends, they're fucking better than Kelly Sue DeConnick's.
Yeah.
Either way, I want an Abnett omnibus now.
Yeah, the Columbine stuff was a little blah, but
that's okay.
But
I'm sure they'll give me an omnibus by the time Aquaman 2 hits theaters.
I hope so. Yeah, it's
one of us just needs to go work for the Trade Department at DC.
I think the last to go do that.
I think the last book that I read the same way was the current Rebirth Batwoman book, where it was just a slog to get through every issue.
That Batwoman, it was a rough, and then I finished it.
And eBayed it.
Like
I think the last 5 issues, I was like, flip, talking, nothing, talking, nothing, talking, nothing, book done. All right, fine, fuck, I don't even care anymore. Yeah. Oh, what a disappointment that Batwoman book was.
And the New 52 Batwoman was really good.
Yeah.
Most of it, the end was kind of but for most of it was good.
Yeah, but that was drama towards the end of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, we are going to wrap up, but before we do, we are going to talk big spoilers. So you guys probably, there's not a ton to say, but we are going to talk spoilers here for a second. So I would, if I were you, I would skip the rest of this podcast. If you don't want to hear about Walking Dead, number 192 comes out, well, we're recording this Tuesday night. It comes out Wednesday morning. Spoilers are all over the place. Charlie's going to take his stuff and go, I think. Do you want us to... Here, you can put this Doomsday Clock back, too. Thank you.
Great radio.
Do you want us to pause this real quick so you can leave and then not get spoiled by what's happening? Oh, okay. So this has been your warning. This will continue to be your warning for another second or so. But we're gonna talk all about Walking Dead 192, which yes is the death of Rick Grimes, shot in 191. You were laughing when you flipped through that book.
I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. So I picked up 190. You said you need to look at 191. I was like, okay. So I flipped to the end. I'm like,
you're reading the trades.
I read
right?
them in trades.
Yeah.
So I picked up 191 like last month when it came out, and I flipped to the end, like you said, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like that's where are we gonna go
fatal.
With that? Like okay. And that's when I had the Rick Grimes moment. When I flipped through this one, I just started busting up laughing because it's literally like, yeah, we did that. Beep, 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 beep. Like,
well,
okay.
Well, it's just like he picks up and is like, oh, fuck, he's been shot. And so I don't even know who this character is. I haven't read that far enough, so I don't know the guy
I know
that
who
shot
the
him.
character is,
Yeah, I forget his name.
It's Sebastian, I think his name is.
But that he's like, He plugs him like 4 more times. He's just like, boom, boom, boom,
apparently
boom.
I can shoot this gun.
Yeah. I want to say it was funny, but you seem to like it.
Well, it's because it's how, like, it was, like...
It's like everyone kind of stops and they're like,
the panel by panel, like the panel by panel on that first page.
Yeah,
you're still in that moment of like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and then it's like the next page it flips and you're like, oh, he's gonna
boom, boom,
and you're like,
boom, boom.
Okay, well, that's how we're getting rid of Rick.
So they kill him off, or do they? In the show, they don't. But they do kill him off in the comic, and so I mean, yeah, morning comes. Carl goes in to see Rick, and
Zombie
Rick's there,
and Carl being raised how he is, and the guy, the man he's become, I guess,
in the head, and
he's like bam to the head, and it's like,
that's Rick.
That's Rick.
Yep. It's funny too because if you read the backup, Robert Kirkman's like, well, so that happened. He's like, yeah, people thought we were going to play it safe, and that was sort of the fear that we'd just kind of, just kind of keep this family going. He goes, that's not how this works. I told myself that I would do it if it came down to it. Is that a ding dong?
I'm going to go see if it's Walking Dead.
It's probably copies of Walking Dead we sold on our site. So what's funny, too, is now that we're a little past this, I don't remember how much of this I said on the podcast, but I may not have said any of this. Walking Dead 191 comes out, and Walking Dead 192 is on our order adjustment the following Monday. And on the retailer forum, people were like, so... what? And they're like, well, they're like, issue 192 of Walking Dead is the final issue of the story arc.
192.
The final issue of the trade paperback. The final issue of the oversized slipcase. Yeah. And the final issue of the omnibus.
For?
So, what's that?
For what?
It's the final issue of the story arc. Yeah, the final issue of the trade paperback. Yeah. Compendium 4. Yes, Compendium 4. So they're like, yes, we knew this had to be a big... Goodbye, Charlie. We knew this had to be a big story, and we're now going to figure out where to go from here. So, we're just past the 15th anniversary of Walking Dead, and the major characters killed, so let's see where we go now.
Well, and this is leading up to 200.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to have 200... just at the beginning of next year?
Yeah, the end of this year, beginning of next year, yeah.
So...
I should be like February or something.
Yeah, I think it's February. I mean, unless he moves to double shipping, because he's done that. They did that for a little while with the all-out war stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's again, people get attached to characters, and, I mean, Rick Grimes has been the main character running through Walking Dead for 192 issues.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? It's honestly, it's time to pass the torch, because this is not a title that you can renumber. This is not a title that you can go, hey, we're going to do an all new, all different, Walking Dead. This is, I mean, Walking Dead is established, and it's moving forward, and the stories that we're getting in it are, built upon everything that's happened before. Yeah. I mean, we have over 15 years of story that, is contained in this, in 192 issues, and it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I laughed. I laughed because it was the pacing, and it was just, they're going to do that. Like, and part of me is like, how is the internet going to react? And how are people going to react? Because to me, that's probably why I was laughing, because people are just going to blow this out of proportion when it's time to move on, where it's time to follow somebody else.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming it's going to follow Carl, right? I mean, his basic last words in the page is like, I can't do this anymore, right?
And the thing is that was his father.
Yeah.
Like, his father didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a good, solid, I mean, and even in the issue, they have, like, he's going back to, I don't remember what play, I didn't read it specifically, but flipping through, he's going back to Alexandria or wherever he's going, and he's like, I'm just going to go, and everybody follows him. And he's taking his dad to bury him.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like all of these people that he's affected, and then you get that page of just everybody's, headshot.
Yeah.
No, I think it was done how it's supposed to be done in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Right? Like Walking Dead is the only death I think in Walking Dead that ever had such an impact and was just that detrimental was Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just so because of just the violence level of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we lost Abraham like 3 issues earlier,
right?
And everyone's like, "Yep, Abraham's dead."
Yeah, it didn't really stick.
Like,
the Glenn one was the big one.
Yeah. So I think people will be affected, but again, I think that it'll soften. I mean, it's just again how I reacted.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know. The speculator market's is searching for that 177, right?
Yeah, that's just for Spirits, right? Of
Sebastian. It's the lady who runs the place, the new place that they found or whatever. Her son.
So Walking Dead. It's big.
Well, and the thing is it only has 2 covers.
Yeah. They didn't go totally crazy.
They did the main cover and they did a blank. That's it.
Yep. We got big stacks of them.
So if you need to, order from comicsconspiracy.biz.
That's what you do. All right, we're going to wrap up. Before we do, it's end of the month. Sorry, it's beginning of the month. We got Patreon. Thanks to Patreon people. We have a new backer. His name is Ryan Marling. Or as he's known on YouTube, that's Ornery Duke, ORNERYDUKE.
Ornery or Ornery?
Ornery.
I think it's Ornery.
That'd be ONREY. This is Ornery. ORNERY.
Oh, whatever.
He has a comic book review and Pokemon card unboxing video channel. Now he needs people to subscribe to his channel to get his custom URL, right? Because you have to have a certain amount of subscribers.
Yeah, you have to have URL. Was it 1,000?
No, it's less than that. It's like 100, I think, or 50 or something. It's not that many. You don't have to have that many to get a custom URL.
Oh, for your custom URL?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it's like, I think you're right.
So if you want to, if you like Pokemon and you want to see all the hot new Pokemon cards unboxed, people love those unboxing videos, man.
I know they do.
Our fellow Rody Brock has his unboxing videos that everyone loves. If you love unboxing videos, if you got kids and they want to watch Pokemon cards being opened up in front of them, I don't know why they would do that because they can't have them. But they'll then tell you, "Goddamn, Dad, buy me some Pokemon cards, you asshole!" Because
that's what my son tells me
every time he's in here. He says, "You goddamn asshole, Brock, buy me some Pokemon cards."
I'm just working on trying.
Uncle Ryan's cool and gives me packs from time to time.
When we put him to work for the child labor.
He doesn't have a custom URL. However, if you go to tiny.cc/orneryduke, ORNERYDUKE, you can takes you straight to his YouTube page. So go ahead and follow him and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Of course, we cannot forget about our longtime subscribers and backers like Julian Titus at the Nerds That Love Pants podcast at pixelbit.com.
I think we gave up saying no pants.
That's fine. If you want pants, in this world, pants, no pants, doesn't matter.
That's true.
Jody Lawson, his Canon the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. Craig Anderson's over at craigpanderson.com. If you're a professional and you need some help and you want to become even better, this isn't nerdy shit. This is like for real people with actual jobs. Make sure you go to craigpanderson.com. Long-time listener and backer.
Kind of insulting me?
Yeah, I'm insulting myself, too. So.
Well, no, you're a business owner.
Yeah. Sam Che, Craig, Joe Duff. I already said Craig Anderson, but Craig P. Anderson once again.
Indicator.
Andrew Nelson Mendez, which is who has a Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. You can go find that online where all your great podcasts are stored. If you like anime, I'm actually looking for a new podcast. I'm almost caught up with my big backlog of podcasts. Anime podcast might scratch that itch. Page Turners, a comic book podcast, is over at pageturnerspodcast.libsyn.com. And, of course, Tyler Willits is at Thursday Thunderdome, Thursday T-Dome on Twitter. We've got tons and tons of backers that they have all sorts of amounts of money that they've given us throughout the years. But some of these people have been with us for a month. Some have been with us for years on Patreon. And if you go to patreon.com/
do they get a badge? Like for how long you've been a backer? Because I know on Twitch they have like the resub 21. Like you've resubbed for 21 months. Like.
Oh yeah, they might. But of course, you want to go to patreon.com/comic conspiracy if you want to kick us a couple bucks for hosting this podcast. We would appreciate it. We also have all sorts of our $5 a month tier guys. I want to thank them right now. Dennis Jansen, Alex McHale, Matthew Schnapp, David Beroldi, Don Kilson, Mark Long, Stephen Zepia. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not going to say that right. Ivan Leskanik, Brian Morawski, Miles Agakula, Bryce Larson Quotes.
Has Toby even figured out who that is yet?
I don't think so. We've been trying to get the big BL back very soon. Paula Schultz, Joseph Rodriguez, Jack Ildefonso, JT.
Hold on. Did you just call him the big BL?
The big BL?
Don't ever do that.
Christopher Noyes, David Safar, Brian Wyckoff, Identity Stifle, as Joe Cacciadorian. Of course, you want to check out Identity Stunt Comic over on Comixology. PJ Ryder, Josh Elliott, Tyler Willits, Rob Bendixson, Travis Fleischman, Tim Martin, Amy Foster, Mason Barber, Anirban Banerjee, Robert Lane, Christopher Stone, Timothy R., Chris Lockhart, Aaron Wright, Father Dante, Alex Young, Chris Palaki, Kevin Ellis, Chris Olivas, List of the Living Dead. They like lists of living dead things.
Whatever.
Dominic Arisman, Chris Bunch, Eddie Moreno, and as always, Andrew Crucieri pulling up the rear. Why is he always at the very end? Was he like our first backer?
He might have been one of our first backers.
I don't know. I wonder why he's always at the bottom. Well, Andrew Crucieri, you are not at the bottom of our hearts. No, actually, the bottom of your heart's a good thing. So that's why you're there, Andrew, because you're at the bottom of our hearts. And thank you to all of our other backers of every tier.
Thank you, guys. It's much appreciated.
It is always greatly appreciated. Hey, maybe if I was on the outro page.
You can figure out what to do next?
Yeah, because if I don't have the written in front of me, I forget everything I'm supposed to say because I have no storage in my memory banks for every other thing I have to talk about.
This is why Comic Hub is an amazing tool.
Love that hub, baby. Love that hub. I never have to. Toby always gets on my case that I would remember this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I'd forget 80% of the time anyway. Yeah. Now with Comic Hub, I'll forget anything. It's all on Comic Hub. Customer.comichub.com/comics conspiracy. Sign up for a subscription. Boom, baby. You're in. Let the computer do the work. I kick back. No, I don't kick back ever. I do more work now because of goddamn Comic Hub. It's ridiculous. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Geekbox.net, and iTunes. There you can find all our previous episodes. Please rate and review us if you can. And, of course, youtube.com/comics conspiracy. If you're not too busy looking up child pornography, maybe look us up on YouTube.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hot new thing. It's all this like crazy like softcore child porn on YouTube now. So
what is wrong with you?
Not me, it's YouTube.
What is wrong with you?
Again, not me.
But you're bringing it up, man.
I can't help what YouTube does.
This is true. YouTube needs to get something fixed with their
state.
Because I mean, you could go on there and go to the Comics Conspiracy YouTube page and listen to something or watch one of our classic videos.
Yeah.
You can go then over to my page and watch an unboxing video. Or you could go over to the ornery guy that whatever.
Just don't click on those other guys'
right?
links.
No, but the thing is, you'll go and then you'll accidentally click on something in that stupid right bar.
The recommended
and then
video.
Now you're down this rabbit hole of right-wing bullshit propaganda.
Straight to Nazis.
And then somehow when you click the right bar there, you end up in this child porn ring apparently.
Yeah, it's really bad. YouTube is a fucking shithole. So go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/comics conspiracy. Smash that subscribe button. The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net. Of course, as we can send those long form emails, we'll read in a couple of years. Digital.comics.
I like how we've become brutally honest about just send us an email. And
One day.
Maybe we should make a tier.
Just doing all email.
We should make a tier where we just answer listener emails in an episode. Like it's the email episode, right? So it's episode 404E.
Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. Lots of digital comics on there you can buy to read on your iPod or and iTunes and tablets and everything like that. And of course, comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our digital store. Sorry, that is our physical storefront online, which is run through Comic Hub. If you want to buy physical comics from us, it's graphic novels, trade paperbacks, Walking Dead 192, all sorts of crazy comics. You can pick them up at comicsconspiracy.biz. Of course, conspiratorBrock.com. It's Brock's blog, video, pull list, where he goes over his pull list for the week. And then, of course, his unboxing videos. What do you got coming up? Anything? Or what did you just do?
I just put up the Batwoman away uniform variant, and then I'll have I got 2 more to do.
Okay.
I'll have 2 more on the rotation.
Yeah.
So they rotate out, but I got to get those up. I did post the 2-minute reviews. I got 2 videos up. One's for 6 Days, the Robin Venditti Vertigo original graphic novel, and 2 of the DC Inc. Titles.
Yeah, you had those.
Mara Tiebreaker and Under the Moon, the Catwoman tale. So those are up there. What are you looking at?
Wanderers of the Fourth Dimension podcast. That's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. I just had to say Brian Michael Bendis message that says, "Well, we're waiting." Classic animated GIF.
He didn't respond?
No, not yet.
Come on, Brian, you got to respond. Give us something at the end. People listen to the end because we just keep going and going and going. We're like the goddamn Energizer Bunny here for you people.
Yes, Ryan Higgins, Ryan. That is myself on Twitter. If you follow Brian M. Bendis on Twitter, he's going to talk about Legion of Superheroes sometime in the next. Hopefully, but I got to hit stop, and he's just going to start talking about it.
Yeah.
Brock is Brock Sager. Larson Bryce, that's Bryce Larson. I'm just going to read everyone. Toby's Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Scott is CS Shea. Kevin Sharp is that Kevin Sharp at the store is Comics Con Store. Follow all of us on Twitter. Thank you very much. Some of these people were actually on this episode. Comedy Button, Manga Machinations. Wait, hold on. Geekbox, Comedy Button, Manga Machinations, and the Infinite Binge. Those are other things that are. Well, I do Geekbox. You can listen to all those wonderful podcasts and watch the YouTube of Infinite Binge.
YouTube again.
Yeah.
It's that horrible place.
That's fine. It's mostly
It's
terrible.
a horrible place that has like honest trailers.
It's mostly horrible, actually.
What is your why are you so anti-honest trailers?
Oh, fuck those. Fuck honest trailers. It's just the smarmiest fucking just, look how funny we are. We're going to make fun of this shit.
But some of them are pretty good.
No, I will never watch. I've watched like 3 of them, and I was like, this is fucking just the most annoying shit ever.
One was ragging on Green Lantern in the
Probably.
movie.
It probably was. It was that long ago when I watched them, but I'm like, this is stupid.
They do video games too.
I don't give a fuck what they do. More power to the people that like them. I don't. Hey, that's something that a lot of people like that I don't like.
It's honest trailers.
Honest trailers. Yeah. There you go.
It's not a comic book, but
no, it's close enough.
Kind of related.
Yeah. That's it. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for listening.
Brian Michael Bendis' feed real quick.
We'll be back next week post the beginning of E3.